Hello there and welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place. This is the space for you to discover who you are. In the process, stumble and tumble and fall on your face, make a big mess, turn that mess into a message, and live a life that makes you proud. Hi there, my name is Natasha, and I am so truly blessed, honored, and grateful to be here today. Yes, again, it's been a minute. I'm telling you, that arsenal of many videos I had, it is depleting, and it's a good thing because we're almost at the year mark, and I think we need to make some changes. But we'll see what's happening here. So yeah, I travel the world. Literally, I went to New York, I went to Boston, I went to Canada, I went all over. I flew back home. I then flew to freaking Florida. I flew back home. I then flew to France and then Saudi Arabia, and I flew back home. Didn't get sick. I come home, I go to the gym, I do my thing. Next thing you know, cross COVID. What the heck? I was like, are you serious? Like, I am done resting. Like, I'm ready to get in my groove. And it seems like every time I'm about to get into my groove, something is popping back up again. I mean, even as it is, like, in just like 3 weeks, I'm going to Spain. So like, I like have really had a struggle trying to just get back into my routine, which is good, right? Because I always say, like, get uncomfortable, get out of your routine, like, mix things up. But then I'm also saying, create good habits and have discipline. So which is it? We need to make these changes in order to see life differently. So yeah, a year ago today, I was grinding out 20 steps, 20. Well, not just 20. Let's add a couple more zeros. It was 20,000 steps on average a day, sometimes quite a bit more. That was like the minimum, actually, not even on average. But I was doing 20,000 steps a day. It was hardcore into my gym, hardcore in my things. I was hardcore in a lot of pain, but I was pushing through the pain. I was like, listen, no pain, no gain. I want to have fun. I want to do this. My whole world revolved around my kids, around my health, around this journey I was on, around talking to you guys about, the Glow Up Method and discovering what is the Glow Up Method, discovering I had a name called the Glow Up Method, figuring out all the odds and ends, supporting my kids, going from a place where I couldn't stand to be in the same room as Chris to suddenly couldn't stand, oh thank you, my new neighbor has a lovely car, isn't he just a gem, to going to a place where I couldn't stand not being in the room with Chris. So and then now kind of in this place where it's like I've been gone so much, like we are kind of growing apart again, like we are not making those conscious efforts anymore. So again, we have to find those connections again. Bye neighbor, you're so annoying. I can't stand him. Every day we don't have to rev the engine. We get it. You got a new sports car and it's a really beautiful blue color, and I'm really happy for you because you're out there living a life that makes you proud, and you are loving on your car. But Lord, please, you don't need to let me know at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 5:20 p.m. that you're leaving the house, okay? We can just start the car. I heard it start before without all the loud noises. Maybe you can't even hear it, but to me it is as if this car is starting in my head. But anyway, so I came back with COVID, and I know I could have sat here and I still could have pushed through, and my symptoms were like so mild. Like I literally didn't have anything. Like I only tested because my son had tested positive and then had sent like a few weeks before I even came, when I was out of town. And then, he sent me thing like 1 in 56 people right now in California have COVID. So like, I'm like, I feel like I have just like a cold or maybe even allergies. So, but out of an abundance of caution, I did test so that I could stay away from everybody, whatever, and keep them protected. But in the meantime, I'm like, I don't want to be laying in bed. I'm like, I'm back from all my trips. I'm ready to go. I'm rested. I'm energized. And so again, I had this forced, break and binge watched way too much TV, and I know I could have got work done and things done, but I just was like, I'm just gonna lay here, I'm just gonna relax. So that's been my journey for the last few days, which again I think is like part of it. Like, do you ever have like a plan, right? You're like, I'm gonna come home from a trip or work or this vacation or just whatever, and the grocery store, and you have a plan, and then something happens and it derails your plan. And for a long time, those derailments became permanent for me. So like when I think about my health and wellness journey, you know, it was just any kind of derailment, like, meant I was derailed for years. Like, I mean, speaking of which, like, I was like laughing because I was like, I was on planes, I was on trains, I was in automobiles, I was on boats, I was everywhere in this crazy, like, you know, around this world, it felt like. And I was managed to stay healthy, which is great because I love that I was able to enjoy all those moments. And I know that now, you know, I should be at least, COVID free for this trip to Spain, which happens to be right after my birthday. So this is like a treat for my son, you know, like second trip, bless his heart, you know, for taking his mama with him to a place that I've never been. So finally get to go to Spain. Very excited about that. And I'll be in Portugal briefly for a layover, but not enough to like go out on an adventure. But I love to travel. I love seeing different cultures. You know, I was saying on here last time, I liked Saudi Arabia even more this time than I did the first time. The first time I had so much uncertainty and I had a lot of fears and worries, and I wanted to do it right. I wanted to be a good representative of a Western woman. I wanted to also respect and learn their culture and understand more about them and have that full immersion experience. And this time around, it was like meeting old friends, right? Like I actually got to meet my old friends. And you know, it's crazy to think that across this plane of this world here, this plane of ours, that you can just have this chance meeting of somebody in a hotel lobby and you become friends with them. And I think that that's so fascinating. And there's these people that help teach me about their culture and why certain things mean so much to them. And I feel like I learned so much, and I'm really grateful for these opportunities. Like I feel like right now I want to brush up on my Espanol, right? Like I took 3.5 years. That stuff has got to be in my brain somewhere. So I really want to be like busting out the Duolingo. I want to have the opportunity to really get an idea of what a day in the life is like. I think it's great to go to the, you know, I want to check off the bucket list things, right? I'm that girl. You know, when we went to France for 7 hours, you know, it was Eiffel Tower, it was eating croissant, it was beef bourguignon, it was, you know, Notre Dame, it was, you know, it was all those things, that you would expect, you know, like I've seen it on TV shows or in the books and stuff like that. But there was so much more. And that's what I really want to get to. I want to get to this so much more. I love connecting and talking with people. I love hearing their stories. I love sharing their cuisine. I love understanding, okay, well, why is this type of cuisine, you know, famous here? You know, what about it is it? So I think it's just such an opportunity. You know, for me, living a life that makes me proud right now is one that gives me the courage to go out there and travel and to go out there, and whether it be with my son, you know, my dad, Chris, my kids, you know, a friend, whatever it is, to actually really, really live every moment of that experience up. And I know I say it all the time, like we should be doing that every day. Like it shouldn't take for us to go on a trip or to have a family reunion or, you know, a high school reunion or something like special to remind us to live. It's every moment. It's this moment. It's sharing this moment here with you. It is all the little moments in between that more so make up who we are than the big events, right? Like the big events get all the attention and all the glory, but it's all those little choices and those little actions. So while I did have the luxury of relaxing and taking care of my body, because even though I felt fine, I also didn't want to get it to the point where I didn't feel fine. So I was able to rest, but I had this assurance that I had built up the stamina, the desire, the taste of what it was like to come back. I came back to this chair, you know, I came back to my workouts. I didn't have to worry, like, will I? And before I experienced it, before I made these things a part of my habits, even if it does, even if they're a daily habit, but there's a few days that go by and you don't do it, or weeks, or, because life gets in the way, or life, has things. Maybe a family member needs you to help care for them. Maybe work is calling you more. Maybe you're traveling, maybe there's 100 different reasons why you can't always stick to your routine, your morning routine, your evening routine, your workout routine, your diet routine, your love routine, right? Like, like I say with Chris, same thing. It's like when things change, when there's something that comes in and messes with the plan, like if everything is status quo all the time, yeah, it's easy to keep that up. But when there's challenges, right? Like you're on the other side of the world, or, he's working a lot, 8 hours, whatever it is, those times make it a little more challenging to stick with the plan. However, because you've done it, you have this ability to lean on the knowledge that you have completed this. You have done this. You are capable of doing this. You, if you have the desire, can do it again. You have that thing. It's not like there's this mystery like, well, can I be loving to Chris? Can I work out? Can I really sit and just talk to myself for 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes at a time in a chair? And then can I have the courage to put it out there in the world for people to like, dislike, judge, sympathize with, learn from, whatever it is? Like all those things, before you've done it, take a tremendous amount of courage, take a tremendous amount of work to say, like, is this even possible? But once you've done it, then it's possible. It's just a matter of picking up where you left off. And I think that that's important, because life has so many things that happen that some are predictable, right? Such as a vacation, and some are unpredictable, like an unplanned vacation, like somebody, your family member needs you suddenly in San Diego and you got to hop on a plane and go there. So there's so many things that we can plan for. And then there's so many things that we just cannot possibly know would happen. And I think it's really important to know, if you have your own personal compass, your own personal guide, if you're living a life that makes you proud, you're going to show up. There's no doubt that, like, okay, just because I didn't film for 2 weeks, it doesn't mean I'm not going to film again. Just because Chris and I haven't gone on a date in 2 months, it doesn't mean we're not going to go on a date again. I have that confidence, that assurance that what has been done once can be done again. And that's a great feeling. It's comforting, right? Because before I would lay there and be like, I don't know if I'll start my diet. I don't know if I'll succeed. And I don't know if I'll intermittent fast again. I go on vacation, like I say, I don't look at the time when I eat. Like, I'm just eating. I'm enjoying myself. I don't look at my watch. I mean, in the beginning I did. I'm not gonna lie about that. In the beginning of my journey and in different phases of it, but I'm not going to be dictated by the number of steps that my watch is telling me I took. I am there to have a different experience. I'm not there to take all of my routines and all of my habits with me and make it super comfortable. I'm there to be shocked. I'm there to enlighten myself. And I do feel that so deeply. Every journey that I go on, whether it be a big journey across the world, or maybe a journey to a new hiking spot, or a new city, or a new restaurant, there is something to be learned. And it's most important to be present for that. It's most important to meet yourself where you are in that particular day, in that particular place. It's not about keeping up with who you were yesterday. You're taking everything you were yesterday into today. So it's with you. Everything you've done is coming with you. And it's filled with lessons and wisdom and opportunities for you to take a relax every once in a while and be like, yeah, I didn't film, or yeah, I didn't go to the gym, but I know I can get back at it. And yeah, when you get back at it, is it always just simple? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's as easy as sitting down, hitting play, and just recording away. And other times it's a challenge, right? Like, I went to the gym today. I also went to physical therapy, 2 physical therapies back to back. my legs are very sore. I was really hungry. My body was like, okay, you did it, but now I'm sore, because I hadn't kept up with it all the time, right? So there's a little bit of growing pains in the situation, and that's fine. And you know what? We're always so afraid of pain, right? We're afraid of hurting somebody. We're afraid of hurting ourselves, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like, we are often in this pursuit to either avoid pain or get out of pain, right? If we're in it, we take Advil, we take, medications, we rub stuff on us, we do massages, we, whatever it is, we seek surgeries, we, go to doctors, we do all these things on a physical level. But then there's like an emotional pain, right? Like, you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings. You don't want pain. And we're always trying to avoid this thing called pain, right? But oftentimes when I'm learning in this process here that sitting with the pain is part of the process. It is a reminder that we're alive, and that oftentimes when we're in pain, what we fail to see is when things are in a storm, when there's a lot of pain, that's just like the brink of it. That after that pain becomes something so beautiful. And so sometimes when we have pain, like I've been trying to I'm not like a masosaurus here, I'm not like a crazy person, but sometimes when you're in pain, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm in pain. But then it's like, hold on a second, I'm in pain. And it's kind of exciting because I know that if I continue through this pain, if I continue through this journey, something great is on the other side. Something amazing is on the other side. And that this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the life that I want to be living. And I want you to find the life that you're meant to be living. We're on this pursuit of not just happiness, pursuit of living a prideful life. Things that you do that make you proud. You're kind to somebody. You open a door. The way you're living, you are your moral compass, right? Like, and I know that people rely upon others, and they, also have high spiritual beliefs where, their religion helps to guide them. But I really truly believe that if you check in with you, you know your spirituality. You will be in a place that's aligned with you. And if you're not, it's gonna feel so wrong for you to walk into that church or read those passages. You need to find what works for you. And what works for you doesn't necessarily always mean it's what's worked for your ancestors, your parents, your siblings, your friends. And I know that's a really hard place to be, because you may feel like you're torn, right? You're in pain. You're in an inner pain because you're living a life that's not yours. And I'm here to tell you, you get one. As far as we know, like, hey, who knows? Maybe there's more, right? Maybe there's reincarnation. Maybe we come back many times. Like I say, I think I'm an old soul. I've been here many times. I have no proof to this. But I want you to know, I really, really want you to hear, as far as we are aware, this is your one and only life. This is your one and only shot. And every minute of every day that passes, there are more days in your rearview mirror than in your future. And I want you to be very selective, very intentional about what you do with the time. And now that doesn't mean you always need to be active. You can be intentional and lay in bed and watch Netflix. That is an intent of its own. But I really want you to start checking in and doing some journaling, doing some thinking, whatever it is, some walking, getting some alone time with yourself so that you are in alignment with who you are. And you have you as your compass through this one and only life of yours. So I say all this to say thank you so much for tuning in and hanging in here with me for these last 15-20 minutes. I am so proud of you. I'm so grateful for you. I really, really, really want to hear about your stories, your experience, and I want to hear what makes you proud. Like, on this journey, like, what things that you do make you proud. It could be something little, like I say, holding a door open for somebody, or helping somebody with their groceries, or paying for somebody's Starbucks in the drive-thru. I mean, I don't know. What is it that makes you proud? Is it being a great mom, a great spouse, a great friend? Whatever it is, I want to hear about it. Please comment below. And also, if you can do me another huge favor, please, 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 I want you to start with you. I want you to give yourself a big old smile. I want you to give yourself a compliment yes, out loud. This is imperative. My compliment is this: I am so proud of myself for not having gone off on the neighbor. And I know that seems like a small thing, but this is a refined version of me, because before I would have been like, listen, sir, we get it. Everything I ranted on here, I would have said there. So I'm processing in real time my frustrations about his inconsideration of the neighbors around us. Like, we, fine. Certain times, 5 o'clock, I really can't complain, but 5 a.m., come on now, sir. So anyways, we get off that one. But then I also would love to give you a compliment. Same gentleman, I have given him a compliment. I said, you have the most beautiful blue car. And it is very sexy. It is very cool. Yeah, so I want you to go out there and also give somebody a big, beautiful smile of yours, give them a compliment, and just watch how they glow up. Thank you. Bye.